Hello and welcome to another episode of the Unnamed Car Buying Show. No, we still don't have a title, but we do have a topic for this one. It's V8s under $10,000. Joining me again is my friend and colleague, Lyn Woodward. Lyn, we're rolling right into this. What
Yeah.
do you got for us?
This one was harder than I thought it was going to be. Um, there were a lot well, you'll see what I mean. Yet again, I was intrigued going down this rabbit hole, and I wanted to because last time that we did sort of trucky things, I
Mhm.
wanted to kind of narrow down the scope a little bit. And I really wanted to do a V8 that was rear wheel drive,
Sure.
that was kind of fun, that I know that some of the sedans and some of the sportier cars that are coming out now have either sixes or turbocharged fours. And I just thought, okay, well, what is something that I think could have kind of a lot of fun in, and maybe even try and drift and get a little sideways, because I know that's kind of
Okay.
your jam too. So the first one that I picked is that this is now like, okay, I maybe never would buy this car because I live in a big city, but the
Mhm.
first one is, and go ahead and open up the link.
Yep, I'm looking at it.
So it's a 92 Caprice Wagon.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, honestly, first of all, I have to let you know the first time I saw this car, he was asking 3250 for it, and now it's down to 2950. This was 2 weeks later. So obviously, like, people haven't seen the value of this sweet and sick gem of a vehicle.
And it's
um,
in Austin too, which is like I could see some
yeah.
hipster dude buying this.
So one problem with this car is it's not technically a V8 because one of the cylinders isn't working. He said one of the spark plugs is not connected. So it's a seven cylinder is
Yeah,
what the listing says. And I thought, okay, that's nice. There's a blinker that's stuck.
that's
There's
easy.
like other things, like tiny little bits, but you're only spending 2950 for it.
Yeah.
And there are those rear jump seats. And I mean, kind of what fun was that if you can remember that far back to when you used to sit in the way back of a wagon.
I
Anyway,
own a wagon with those seats. I mean, it doesn't have an engine, but I
there
have
you
one.
go. There you go. I actually have I had another fun pick. That was the second one I just sent you.
Oh, okay.
So that is by the way, this was definitely harder than I thought it was going to be. This one, and I was shocked at this one. This is a 93 Cadillac Allante.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
an
reason
interesting choice.
65,000 miles. The reason why I picked this car, it's a 4.6 liter V8. It's white over beige. This one actually looked really good. Um, Better than the actual car itself is the story of this car.
Okay.
And Cadillac really wanted to do something that was super upscale. And so they decided to hire Pininfarina in Italy to
Mhm.
do the coach work and to do the body. And this is the most insane thing about this. This is one of my favorite stories in automotive lore, is that they had three 747s built out so that the platform, all of the parts were shipped to Italy separately on a 747. There were three trips every week that used to go out to Italy. Then in Italy, they would body all of these cars, they would put them together, and they would ship them back to Detroit in a 747.
Crazy.
It's so dumb. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, I can't even imagine like what they should have charged for this car.
Yeah.
Anyway, those two are not my pick.
Oh,
But my pick is, and now I am actually going to send you this because I
okay.
didn't send it to you before, is this a 2006 Maserati Quattroporte Executive GT sedan?
Wait a
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I saw this one, but I didn't click it, and I got annoyed because Maserati owners, Maserati people, they
Yeah.
always list these, and some BMW people do this too, because I saw the listing said manual transmission, and I
Oh,
go,
yeah, yeah. No,
those aren't manuals, and the
no, they're
owners like
not.
swear they're manuals. But sorry, I had to get that rant out. Go
Yeah,
on.
no, no, and listen, that is a legit complaint, and I think with this car, there are some legit concerns, and most of it is with that transmission, because a lot of the research that I've done and a lot of the looking, those transmissions basically are like a 60,000 mile and then they're out kind of a
Yeah.
thing. This one has 80 like 80,000 miles on it or so. But you're getting a Ferrari engine.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
getting a Ferrari engine for less than 10 grand. And I think that's amazing. There were just over 10,000 of these things built. It's got wood, got Alcantara in it, it's got massaging rear seats, it's got all of these kind of like super luxury things that you want in a car. I think it actually looks pretty pretty stellar. Like I would look at this if I saw this driving down the street. But then you might have the need for a new transmission. But I thought in the sea of also rans, which was basically like Ford Mustangs
Yep. Yep.
and Mercedes 500 SLs, which if there's that many of them in there, there might be a reason why there's that many of them in there. My pick was the Maserati
Okay.
Quattroporte.
It's a very good pick. I saw this listing and I didn't click it because I was annoyed because I know it's not a manual and I know there's
It's
people, it's an
not.
automated manual. That's not a manual. Interestingly, you can convert them to manuals if you have the time and money to do so. However, it's a good pick. The mileage is good. The price, you're right there. But you foreshadowed my pick. I did not go with an SL 500. Let me
Okay.
send the link over.
Okay.
I went with
I'm gonna guess. Did you do the CLK? Oh, I just
not a CLK. I went with a 2005 Mercedes-Benz CL 500 and 9,500
okay.
bucks. And here's why. This one
Okay.
only has 64,000 miles on its awesome 5-liter V8. This one already has a K40 radar detector installed, but the interior looks fantastic. They did note that they had to repair the rear hydraulic lines and accumulator for the active body control,
Okay.
which helps make the ride nice, but that's good that that's done. But one of the reasons I like this one is it looks clean. Also, the seller is based in Newport, Rhode Island, which means this is probably at their like vacation home, which is why it has low miles. And this thing is probably a cream puff of a Benz. And I love this era of big body Benzes, this era and the generation before it. If I would have liked to have done a 600, but obviously we're sticking with V8s. I love these giant Benzes. I like the CL better than the CLK. I like the coupes because I don't need a
That's because you're
convertible.
a family guy. Like you
Well, it's
always
funny
in
because
the back of your mind like space. I
well,
need room.
it's funny because like you said, so many Mustangs. Like I was looking at
Fun.
Mustangs,
Oh man.
Corvettes, lots of C4 Corvettes. It's
My
some
least my
pretty good
least
mileage.
favorite, yeah, but my least favorite generation. I think they are not
I
attractive.
agree. I agree. And there were some really good deals, but the ones that were the best deals, even though the cars are clean, they were automatics, and I wouldn't want that in a Corvette. I was looking at XJ8 Jags.
Yeah. I
There were
saw
some
those and
really good ones.
I was like, Glucker's bound to pick a British thing, maybe.
Almost. I thought about it. And then I found a hearse, which was really well done because the hearse part was removed and there were seats back there and it was pretty nice. And the owner says they take it to like Halloween things. But I couldn't. I was mentally I should have gone with a Mustang, but or something with just sporty aspirations. But I went with the Benz because I am older now, and this car just seems comfortable, and the mileage is good. And I love Mercedes. I'm a Mercedes fan. So I think I had to go with the CL 500.
The Hooniverse guy grows up.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Newport, Rhode Island. This guy's probably neighbors with Jay Leno. Um,
I
so
mean, it's very likely. I do like that both of our picks are private owner cars because that was my concern too. And especially when I was looking at the Mercedes, um, which one thing about the low mileage, which I thought, like, oh, that could be a ding against you, is if you do not maintain these cars well and you do not drive them, if they sit for a long period of time, they are not happy.
but to
Okay.
speak to that, that's why he had to replace probably the rear hydraulic lines for the suspension.
That's
Um,
that's one of their biggest problems is those hydraulic lines. And so anything I was seeing that was low miles, I was like, oh, is that a bad sign? Like, is that a sign that it hasn't been driven and it hasn't been taken care of? So I kind of zagged after seeing that. But um okay. All right. Well, now how do we decide who wins? Because I think my pick wins just
I know, I
sheer
know.
for sheer matter of it's a Ferrari engine and it's unusual.
I give bonus points to Ferrari engined vehicle for under $10,000. And you're right there. You are at 999.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't even pay tax.
So I really we gotta you know what we need to do on the show is we need to have a third person who
We
doesn't provide a
do.
pick. We're gonna have like Tyler or Danger or someone on,
Yeah,
or just have Micah pop up and be like,
I think
I'll give
so.
it to this one.
Might satisfy all his fans who wonder where we hid him
Right,
or
right.
found
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Segment.
So here's the thing. My pick is safer, but maybe that's boring. So I say in this episode, because yours is more exciting and adventurous, we will give the win to you on this episode.
Yay! Considering last week was a draw, but yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. And then when my car with its manual transmission breaks down,
Yes.
you can come by and pick up me and my friends that are in our executive Quattroporte.
Right, right, exactly. Because you'll need the highest level of AAA for this car, which I mean, I have that anyway.
Don't we all have
Yes,
flatbed
we have
issues?
to.
Yes.
So congratulations on a car
Thank
well
you.
picked. Now we need now we need to think of another episode or subject so we can do this again. Anybody listening in the comments, please go find versions for this battle, V8s under
Yes.
10,000, and then come up with other topics, and we will see if there's some good ones in the comments. We will go with those in the future. But for now, Lyn wins the round of best V8 under $10,000. So I got to think of something to step it up and stump you a little more.